there is something I did want to ask you, right? So you are kind of like a Renaissance man, as you say, right? You've tried different things. What do you think Flutter
Yes.
is good for, and what do you think Flutter is not good for?
Uh, Flutter is good for for cases where your application relies more on user interface interactions. If you want to deploy something fast that is it's just user interface interactions and internet things like APIs, calls, file uploads, nothing too native. Yeah, Flutter can handle it really good, and Flutter is good for graphical applications, really graphical applications. If you try to use Flutter to make something that is too tied to the platform, specifically to the platform, I don't think Flutter is the best solution. I'm talking about applications that really need to explore as near as possible the platform where the application is working, like Facebook applications, Instagram applications, applications that need to explore the hardware and the native API. This kind of applications will can become really hard to maintain if you try to make them with Flutter. But if your application don't rely too much on the platform, but rely more into the interface, into the interaction between the interface and a web API or things like that, more simple things like that, I think Flutter is really good. Now, what Flutter isn't good for? Um, I'm, I will talk about Flutter in general because when people hear Flutter, the first thing they think it's about the mobile development, but Flutter is more than that. And one thing that Flutter isn't really good for is for text-based web pages. If you are trying to make an application that needs to be available to search engines like the Google engine, Yahoo, Bing engine, and you have, for example, a news website, Flutter isn't a good use case for this case because this kind of solution relies on text content, and the way Flutter works don't let search engines index your website, and this can be really bad for this use case because search engines are they're here for news websites and heavy content based websites, and you will lose something really important. I'm talking about SEO, and I don't think you. Yes, you want a cross-platform solution, but lose your SEO because you want to use Flutter, and Flutter because Flutter is a multi-platform solution. I don't think it's a good choice. And another thing that I think Flutter isn't good for, I don't know. I think Flutter it isn't just good for specific platform things and the web because some people are looking into Flutter, mainly Flutter web, as a solution for them to not learn HTML, CSS, and JavaScript and how the web works because Flutter web, I know that, I know Flutter, and I can start making websites with Flutter without no CSS, HTML, JavaScript. Flutter is the solution, so I don't need to understand those things. And this is wrong because Flutter it's really far away from replace the web we have because the web we have is it's a result of long years of experience is a result of a big community, and a very old community, and experience that was collected from a lot of years. That's why we have the web so flexible as we have now. And Flutter is just giving the first steps into the web. So there are that we have a lot of things to do in Flutter to use it as a replacement for web. I don't think this is going to happen. I don't think this is the intention, the idea of the Flutter team. But yeah, people can't see the Flutter web as a solution to not learn web and start building everything that all their clients start asking about web with Flutter. This can be dangerous because think you don't know how session giants works, and you have a big client asking you to make a big website that will rely on SEO, but you don't know what SEO is, and you will make all this website with Flutter web, and you will start having performance issues, and you will start having your client asking you why my website is not appearing on the first pages on Google. So you already made everything. That means trouble for you, because there is no solution for it right now. So I think it's important to people to understand the use cases for Flutter, and not. Something that Flutter is really good for is heavy graphical applications like Rive. I don't know if people know about Rive. Rive is an application to make animations with Flutter, and that's one of the biggest use cases I can provide for you right now, because Rive, it's like the exactly successful use case for Flutter, because it is a tool, not a website. It is a tool, and a graphical tool, an animation tool that lets people make animations really easy. And one of the big advantage of use Rive, it's because it is cross-platform. It uses Flutter, and Flutter, because Flutter works with Canvas, and the Canvas is available in most all platforms, because it's just a space into the interface that you're free to paint whatever you want. Then Rive is available for all platforms too. So that's really awesome and a good use case for Flutter.